Billy here. Let's summon old Billy. Oopsie daisies. Alright. So let me show you guys what I've been rocking. So this is my lightning bow build. So what you're gonna need for weapon is a crit-based lightning bow, basically. You want the percent you want to be lightning. Now the flat, since it's already being converted, the flat can be lightning or it can be pierce or vitality or anything like that. So the flat doesn't really exactly matter, but make sure your percent is lightning. Then you want percent weapon attack damage. And for the agility, you want that to be attack speed if you guys can. I got really lucky on this roll. Pretty nice bow, actually. But if the agility was attack speed, this would be best in slots for this particular build, because attack speed is very nice. You want attack speed. So that's it for that. For armor, you're just going to want vigor and agility or knowledge. Shoulders, crit chance, agility or knowledge, and some resistances. Helmet, you want agility or knowledge, and you want minus percent energy reserved or whatever it's called, or energy on it. Doesn't matter. And get some resistances too. Boots, you just want movement speed, knowledge, or agility. Also, for your implicit or I forgot what they call it in this game, infracture or whatever. You want to have as much dodge recovery rate as possible on all your gear. Try and get in the 20s, the high 20s. You can get up to like 36, but this is just like gear that I had on hand. I haven't really like been trying to min-max. Besides this bow, I rolled a lot of bows, so I had a pretty decent bow on hand. For gloves, you want lightning damage and attack speed, and then resistances if you can. For your rings, you want percent lightning damage, and you want any kind of flat weapon damage, so pierce, lightning, poison, doesn't matter because it's being converted. And bonus if you can get cooldown or crit chance on your rings. Here's my other ring right here, like lightning, and then you got your flat damage. And then for your belt, you just want minus energy reserved, and increase attributes is nice as well. The cool thing about this build is you don't really take up too much mana to cast this spell, so it's 13 energy. Very manageable, very nice. Alright, so let's get on into other things here. For the stats, or attributes, I went all into agility because it goes down into cunning, which gives us lightning damage. So you want a lot of lightning damage or knowledge. You can go knowledge or agility. Doesn't really matter, but that's what you want to do. But I went all agility so I can equip my gear. You're gonna want at least 200 something agility to equip a bow, agility type bow right here. Now you could go a might bow, but if you go a might bow, you're gonna have to invest points in the gear, and what that means is you're not gonna get that much damage from over here. So you can do a might bow if you have a good might bow, but later on, once you get a good agility bow, you might want to switch. Alright, so let's go into masteries. So we'll go to the storm. So this is a rogue storm particular build. But what we are using as our main skill is lightning bolt. So what we do is we convert all of our damage into lightning, so all of our weapon damage into lightning, which is very nice. And then if we do that, we have to use a spear or a ranged weapon. Now, I did use a spear for a little bit, but unfortunately I don't have a great spear, as you guys can see right here. But the cool thing about infractured spears and bows is you can roll, well, spear you can roll attack speed, which is kind of nice, but you can also roll base weapon ailment, which you can roll that on bows too, the green one. So if you get a really good green one, you can make it manageable. Unfortunately, my spear is not that great, so it wasn't really a good testing spear, but it is still, spears are doable if you have a shield. That's really good too. If you are doing the spear version, make sure you get your shield with at least 25 vigor and some kind of other either knowledge or agility on it if you want to try and get damage out of your shields. Or you could use the epic shields, pretty nice too. I'll talk about the epic shields at the very end. But let's go back into our skills right here. We're going into 3 rage. We are stacking rage on this character. We get 2% more damage per rage, and this goes up every time we hit, so every 0.4 seconds. Pretty nice. And we got electric burst. This stacks up like a debuff on them, and when it runs out, it hits them with a bunch of lightning damage. And we got overload. Every time we attack, we get overload, so we get 30% more damage and 3 additional projectiles. So that's why I didn't really go into additional projectiles, because 3 is good enough for me to clear out packs. So I don't really need anything else, or I don't really need another projectile. But keep in mind, when you use overload, oh crap, how come I can't? Oh, it's because I'm using a, okay. Every time you do it, you get 3 overload, and you're going to be taking damage as I think it's lightning and fire. So lightning and fire, you're going to be taking a percent of your max health is lightning and fire. A way to counter that is if you actually get fire and lightning resistances, and there's also some passives that I'll talk about. But if you want to counter that more and you don't have to worry about being drained all the time, make sure you get your fire and your lightning resistance up. Alright, so, and that should cover all that for this skill and how things work. So the more overload you do, the more damage we're going to get. So you can stack up quite a lot, and my damage is going to keep ramping up through. So we're at 873, 7,873, we're at 8,000 right now. But keep in mind, the higher it goes, the more you're going to be taking damage. Alright, so let's go into alright, so our aura, we went with lightning imbuement just to get the, well, first of all, it converts everything, but we also get the 16 lightning damage, flat lightning. Then you want to reserve some of that energy. Unless you get really good gear with a lot of energy, you don't need to use this, but I do because I don't really have a lot of energy on my gear. So, and then I put all my points into this so I can get 40% more increase lightning damage. Then we want to go into Cyclone. This is what you use before you face off a bunch of, like a big pack of enemies or a boss. You want to put this down because you're going to get 4% increase lightning damage, and it stacks up. It's like escalation. It stacks up to 10. And you see all these, these little intensity things that goes up to 10, and it boosts your damage pretty nice. It's pretty good. You just stand in it. Alright, let's talk about the passives. So I didn't go into anything down here. You want to get this because it's projectile, so try and max this out as much as you can. Penetration is not exactly needed. Both of these are not exactly needed, but they do kind of help. But just kind of get that if you can, because it's a good amount per point. It's like 5% each point, which is pretty nice. Then you want to go into here, you want to grab weapon damage and projectile damage, 2 very nice ones to pick up. Then you want to go on overcharge, and overcharge, our skill is actually considered, I think, an overcharge. Pretty sure. I think it went up as I was leveling this. Let me confirm for you guys. Let me take some of this out. I know we can capitalize on this, and that's why I did it, but you also want duration too, because this helps with the your rage stacks. So you want this, but I'm gonna respec this. So actually, before I do, 7,000. Oh wait, I still have. Okay, 7,217. I'm pretty sure it gives you some damage. Yeah. Yeah, it's considered. Okay. So we'll put that back in. Bam. You want that, definitely. For Raging Storm, this is going to increase our rage So every time we get a rage, we get more damage. We're going to maximize that rage too, and then we want to extend the duration of our rage. So every time we attack an enemy, we're going to get rage stacks all the way up to 13 stacks. Pretty nice. Alright, so that's it for the storm. Let's go into the rogue. And basically, this is for bosses. You want to mark bosses or really tough elites or whatever. I put 2 in the weekend, so they're not hitting as hard. For your aura preparation, 2 in a honing blade just for the flat weapon. This doesn't really interact or counter interact with your convert to lightning, so you don't have to worry about that. You just get the flat weapon on there, and then you want more flat weapon on here because it's being converted to lightning. And then I reserved some because my energy stinks. But if I could take these off, I would put it in a weapon and then put it in the crit enhance right here. That's what I would do. So, and then we got vanish. Every time we vanish, we get 100% increased damage. Really nice. We get 120% increased crit chance and crit damage multiplier, and a little bit of lifesteal too. And that's it for that. And for the passives, you want to go into accuracy for more damage and crit chance. And then for deft hands, just try. Yeah, you want to get attack speed with this. Very nice. And then you definitely want weapon damage. Really helps. You want attack speed and crit chance. And then this is for our mark. When we mark an enemy, we get a big bonus. Quite a lot, 76%, which is pretty nice. We also get crit chance, and we also minus the resistances by 8%. So it's really nice to mark bosses and get that extra damage right there. So that is pretty much everything. So before you go into a fight, kind of like ramp up a little bit. You want to throw down your storm to get your intensity up, and then you mark your enemies, and then you vanish and dodge. Oh, that's one thing that I missed, and I'm very sorry. Dodge is very important. You want celerity and dash attack. Dash attack is a 60% increased damage and 150% increased crit chance. Very nice. And celerity gives us movement speed, attack speed. All the speed is considered all speed, so it's really nice. So when you want to dodge around as much as you can every time. All the time you want to be dodging. That's why it's also nice to have cooldown on your rings, and having your dodge cooldown on all your gear really helps too as well, because you can keep dodging and keep getting that increase in damage. So when I go vanish and when I dodge, my crit chance is up to 52%, which is actually, like, it may seem a little bad, but it's actually not bad. It feels pretty good, like I'm actually critting consistently with that number. Now, yes, it could be going up a little bit, but that's, you know, that's all I could really squeeze in. If I would love to get it like on my ring, some more crit chance. My shoulders are actually pretty good, but yeah. And I don't think I would want to squeeze any more crit chance on my weapon. I would really want attack speed. I think that would be the best bet for your weapon. But yeah, 52 seems really nice. Just make sure you're using your vanish and your dodge to achieve that. But that's about it. Hopefully you guys liked this. It was actually really fun. Like especially like clearing out mobs and stuff like that. Now, if you are versing monsters, you could do this. You could just go take out 1 or 2 electric bursts and put it into additional projectiles. That way you're having a little bit more consistency and clear speed when it's a large pack of like enemies and stuff. But for now, I like how this is set up. It feels good for me.